Hey, welcome to this week's video. In this week's video, we're going to talk about how to stay focused as a business owner. You know, most businesses that I work with, the owner is pulled in many different directions, and I'm sure it's the same for you as well. Often they're pulled in directions that they don't want to go in, or they had no idea they were going to go in. This distracts their focus, and ultimately it can harm the business. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can get back your focus. And no, this is not just based on a productivity method that you can use. Focus, you know, is one of the most important skills as a business owner, that in order to grow your business, focus is critical. In fact, it should be a top priority, but it's not an easy thing to do. So in this video, I'm going to give you a process that will help you to get your focus back and get you in the direction that you'd like to be heading. So let's get to work. So first, let's talk about how to get your focus back. And it may sound counterproductive, but the first thing that I'd like for you to do is to start saying no more often. Now, this is very hard to do, but it is critical in order to be able to focus on the things that you should be focused on. And it's also easier said than done. But become more aware of the things that you are saying yes to, and instead maybe think about saying no first. Think about it and then maybe commit. You know, the more decisions that we make, the more fatigued our brain becomes, and it's harder to be able to stay focused on what we really need to stay focused on. Saying no more often will help you to then filter out the things that you're being asked to do and make better decisions on if you should be doing that. Does it help me to achieve the focus that I want to achieve? Or is somebody else better off on doing that? So every time we say yes to something, every time that we see a new thing, a new shiny object, every time that we may be browsing on something that is unrelated to what we want to accomplish, this causes us to procrastinate. And we may not even notice it, but ultimately we're procrastinating. Now, other things that are not related to our focus are things that we need to do in order to be able to relax our mind or take time off. But it's that conscious part that is important as an entrepreneur to help you stay focused on what it is that you should be doing. So first, I want to give you an overview of how I think that you can get your focus back as an entrepreneur and what you need to do in order to achieve that. In a nutshell is what I call vision to plan. And what we're really trying to do here is we're trying to take a step back and say, where is it that I want to be with my business over a certain period of time? And kind of think of it, where do I want to be when this business is done? I try to look at it as 10 years, but you could look at it as more than 10 years. But you want to come up with, hey, what is it that I think I want this business to look like in that time period? Then what you're going to do is take a look and set what I call milestones or strategies. They're really 3 to 5 year goals that you want to have in place. And that all links to your vision. And it helps you to make sure that you're keeping on track, because we tend to overestimate what we can do in a 1 year period and underestimate what we can do in a 10-year period. So it's very important to set kind of milestones to see that we're on track to hitting that vision. Then from there, you're going to set your goals, and this is usually going to be 6 to 12 month period, but that is all going to support the ultimate vision and keep you on track on staying focused on what it is that you really want to accomplish. Okay, so the first is to set your vision, and I alluded to this a little bit earlier. This really is kind of the statement that'll drive everything from vision to plan. And vision is not a mission statement. It really is a point that you want to be when a certain time period elapses. So if you're looking at your business, you want to say, what is it that I'd like to accomplish, or what do I envision my business looking like over a set period of time? And that could be when the business is done, or it could be 10 years. I tend to use 10 years, but you could use whatever time period you want. The key is that this step is probably the hardest, because you really need to think about it. It's not something that just comes off the top of your head that I want a business that's $100 million. It's more of, what is it that I really want it to look like? And that hence being called a vision statement. Okay, now it's time to get into strategy and goals. And remember, vision drives strategy, strategy will drive goals. So what you want to do now is that you have a vision statement, is start mapping out where do I kind of need to be in 3 to 5 years to make sure that I am on track to hitting that vision. Think of them as goals, but maybe rather like milestones. They're detailed enough that I know that if I hit this point or this milestone, I will be in the right direction of my vision, and it'll help guide you in making sure that you are on track to hitting your vision. Once you have these strategies or milestones, then what you're going to do is set 6 to 12 month goals, annual goals. And those goals are going to be detailed, and they will be focused on hitting that strategy or the 3 to 5 year goals. They're going to make sure that you're on track to hitting those goals or milestones. They need to be very detailed and thought through and how you're going to actually execute them. Then what you're going to do is I would encourage you to break them down even into quarterly goals. And this way it kind of chunks it down into smaller pieces where they're achievable in smaller increments, and it'll help you to take a big goal and maybe break it down a little bit more. Each week, make sure that you have at least 1 to 5 tasks on your to-do list that you plan to accomplish that works towards those goals. This should be done every week to make sure that you are on progress to hitting your goals, because otherwise you're going to lose your focus and you're not going to be moving towards that goal, to that strategy and that vision. So and the key word is progress. If you're doing this method and you're constantly sticking to it, you will see over a period of time, and it takes time, that hey, I am actually making progress, and I'm also making sure that I'm keeping my focus on track. So let me leave you with some tips on this process that I found that has helped me. And the first one is, once you have your vision, your strategies, and your goals in place, your job now is to start saying no to everything initially. And that sounds harsh, but what I want you to do is say no, but just don't commit right away. So you may still do it, but you need to stay more focused on what it is that you're saying yes to, and is this taking you away from your ultimate vision that you have decided that you want to accomplish. So you need to make sure that you do that. The second is review is critical, and I recommend that you review on a weekly basis to just take a high level 15 maybe 20 minutes, if that, to review your vision, to review your strategy, to review your goals, to see that you're on track, and to remind you of what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And don't be afraid to adjust. I've adjusted quite often on my vision to plan. It changes, but it also helps jog my memory of, oh yeah, this is what I need to do. And it also, the third thing is to make sure that I have tasks for that week that help me towards those goals that I have set for the year, or the quarterly goals, is very important. And let me say that if you do this, the process will at first take a long time, but as time goes on, you will slowly see that not only am I making progress, which is important, not only is my focus now on that vision, but I can actually see the fruits of my labor, and I can see how this is linking what I'm doing to that vision. And when I'm saying yes to things, it is because I have time to actually do that, and my focus still is on my vision. And as an entrepreneur, that's extremely important to make sure that you're on track. But it all starts with developing a vision to plan. That's it for this week's video. If you got any value out of the video, it'd be awesome if you hit that thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, it'd be awesome if you subscribe. Okay? I'll catch you on the next one.